Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the February Roundtable for the Olympic District of Pacific Harbors Council. For those of you who don't know, my name is John Spiegelberg. I am still, for the next week or couple of weeks or so, I'm still serving as the Olympic District Commissioner for just a little bit longer until I get voted out in the near future. But welcome, everyone. Thank you all for being here this evening. We are going to go ahead and get started with a quick little introduction, opening flags, and oath and law. So I'm going to hit share on my screen like this, like this. We're going to share the sound so you all can hear it, and like that. And there we go. Okay. And I'm going to hit this screen here.
Those in uniform, please salute. Those who are not, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So we are going to get started with Roundtable this evening by first talking about upcoming events that we have in the council and district. So I'd like to direct your attention to my screen here. This is the Pacific Harbors Council calendar. If you guys are not checking this, I highly encourage you to do so. And also, to back up for a second, for those of you that joined in a little bit late, if you could please drop your unit type and number into the chat for attendance, I would greatly appreciate that, so I can keep track of who all showed up tonight. All right, so this is the Pacific Harbors Council calendar. So if you guys are unfamiliar with it, I suggest you guys check here regularly, as this is where we will post the registrations and upcoming events for the council. So this month, February, is just about over. We only have one or two more events left this month. We have OA fellowships starting on Friday, going through the weekend. The OA Winter Fellowship, and then we have the Rainier District Awards Dinner, our neighbors to the north. In March, we have a lot of things going on. We will have, let's see, we have the Winter Ordeal. So for those of you that have troops out there with newly elected members for the OA, this would be your first opportunity to have your members go through the ordeal process. So we encourage you guys to sign up for that if you have folks that are needing that. That'll be the weekend of March 20th. Before that, I skipped over one. We have our BB gun range officer training. This would be helpful for any of you who would like to utilize the council's inflatable BB gun range for recruitment events, or if you'd like to help us run the BB gun range at upcoming district and council events. We always need more range safety officers and instructors and things. So if you guys go through this class, which is free, you will have an opportunity to help out with that. Also, the weekend of the 21st through the 22nd, we also have our next opportunity for Baloo training. So this is a good opportunity. As a reminder, this training is required ish for all Cub Scout leaders. We need to have at least one, preferably two leaders in a unit that are Baloo trained. And in order to go on any sort of Cub Scout overnight outings, you must have at least one Baloo trained leader. So we encourage you guys to take the opportunity for that training if you can. The following weekend, on the 27th through the 29th, we will have our next offering of IOLS, that is Introduction to Outdoor Leader Skills. This is required training for all Scoutmasters and Assistant Scoutmasters. So this will be a good training opportunity, and it's always a good time. So that's what we have going on in March. In April, we have let's see, we have Leave No Trace training the second weekend of April. Excuse me. We will also have our annual Olympic District Spring Camporee the weekend of the 18th. So that's a great opportunity for all of our Scouts BSA troops out there. It's a good camping opportunity, and we always have we have a lot of fun with that event. So if you are interested in going, I recommend you sign up as soon as possible. Um, we will also have the volunteer recognition, the council volunteer recognition event on the 25th. So that is a good opportunity to celebrate our volunteers that have received council level recognitions. And I realized, I'm sorry, guys, I forgot one really important event in the month of March that we need to talk about, which is the Olympic District Recognition Dinner. Uh, I'm sorry about that. It is the night of the 15th. Please sign up. We would love to have you come out and support our own volunteers here in the Olympic District and celebrate their accomplishments. And this is a good opportunity for us to all get together and have good fellowship there as a district in the Camp Thunderbird dining hall. So we would, if you guys can and are able, please sign up for that as soon as possible. We would love to get a good and accurate head count of how many people are showing up for dinner, and we will give you dinner. So please come out and celebrate our volunteers here in the district. Are there any questions on the calendar? All right, seeing none, we are going to go ahead and head into our main event this evening. Unfortunately, Jessica was going to help. She was going to help us this evening. Our membership executive, our new member executive. Yeah, that's Jessica's title. Was going to help us this evening talk about recruitment, but instead we have the fabulous Tyler Fine to help us talk about our membership, some of our membership initiatives and things. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen so that Tyler can take it over.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. We have quite a great audience tonight. How's everyone doing? Just through a quick either thumbometer or with a reaction. Is everyone having a good night tonight? Phenomenal. It looks like there's some good vibes. For everyone's awareness, I shared in the chat all those events and links so you can register, share them with your key three, share them with someone you know, share them with someone who would just like to see what community impacts are happening down here in the Olympic District. I look forward to seeing you there. Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about membership and recruitment. We've been working a lot. National Scouting has been working a lot. The council has been working a lot at what we can do to help units have an easier and more impactful time reaching out to their community and helping change the lives of young people. I in no way need to lecture each of you, but we are finding nowadays that many young people aren't having the opportunities that they used to between school, home, work, or church. So scouting is playing more and more of a pivotal role in a lot of these smaller communities where youth need an outlet, especially away from their phones. And so to assist you with that, we've come up with some useful resources here on the council side. So I hope you all are familiar with this. This is our council website. Well, first, can everyone see it? I'm hoping. Sweet. Thank you. So if you go here and you click on Membership Hub, you're eventually going to come on down here to the Unit Growth Incentive Program. What's the Unit Growth Incentive Program? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's get started. This is essentially a program to help you define and lay out how you can effectively and efficiently lay out your meetings, your recruitment strategies, and your unit to posture everyone for success. Ultimately, this is supposed to make what can be a big nebulous goal into something much more manageable. Essentially, how the program works is there's 4 steps. You set and submit a goal. You use available resources, whether that's council resources or resources within the community. You get support from district and council staff. And when you meet the goal, you earn incentives for your entire unit, making it so it's easier for your unit and it's easier for you to create future outreach. How are we going to do this? We're doing it with these unit goal sheets. So I already have some of these pulled up. So that pack membership plan right here. And if at any time, feel free to stop me. I can't currently see the chat. So John, would you be willing to warn me if someone messages in chat? Thank you. So this is our pack membership plan. We've worked together to make this handy dandy resource. What this is just a checklist for what needs to happen or what we would advise needs to happen for success. First and foremost, we have the Be a Scout pin. The reason why that's there is when people are looking for scouting and when National Scouting is pushing out promotions, they're pushing people towards the Be a Scout. If you're consistently checking your pin at least every 3 to 4 months, just making sure the email works, the phone number works, that's going to be the most advantageous way and the easiest way to capitalize on what we're doing as a national nonprofit to get local youth within your unit. And that's one of the best and easiest ways to have unit health. It takes 5 minutes or less, extremely simple. If you're not sure how to do that, you can talk to your commissioner, which I'm sure John's going to talk about how you can get in touch with them a little later. One of the things that we thought is the most important is assigning one person to this role. I know that there's a lot of roles in scouting, and I know that we've all been told it's 1 hour a week. We're trying to make this into 10 minutes or less per month. It can be very manageable, very simple. It can even be a new person, which is why we're trying to make this relatively simple. Put their name, phone, email, put your current youth, how many you're expecting to cross over, your current adult count, and what your goals for adults and youth are. As you go down, you just type in what are your join night dates, locations, the who, what, when, where's, and whys. And you're also going to be going into what is that first night after our join night going to be. A lot of the meetings that I go to, I find that we do these join nights, and then the meeting immediately after that, we're inviting them all to, we're not really engaging those new members. And so this is more of a guided way to think through how can we run effective meetings and to scale everything out just for timelines within the unit. We also have a checklist for recruitment ideas, as well as who should be the lead person. Things like asking for council resources, who's going to be distributing flyers, so on and so forth. I'm going to take this right now and I'm going to put it in the chat because I'm sure you guys don't just want to listen to me talk, but I would love to have you guys go to the website. Let me see if I can figure out how to get to the chat.
Tyler, and this, I know you're demonstrating PEC, but there's also one for troops and crews too, correct?
Yes, we're about to get to that as well.
Sorry.
So let me see. Are you guys still able to see my screen? Yep. So I don't have a pack. Darren, thank you for the wonderful segue. If you don't have a pack, you wouldn't click pack goal sheet. You click older youth programs goal sheet. I'm going to take this and share it in the chat real quick so that you can all have an opportunity to look at it right in front of your screen, not just mine. That is the second link that I just sent. So this would be for Scouts BSA, venturing, if you have an Explorer post, if you have a Sea Scout unit, this is what the secondary goal is going to be, the secondary sheet. Similar to the first one, same setup, same general page at first. What is the first join night going to be? What is that first meeting afterwards going to be? Who are going to be the leads for each of these? And what is the who, what, when, where, why? Similar on this, it has different resources, but these resources are more geared towards Scouts BSA up and above. We're also engaging the youth more by recruiting siblings, by recruiting communities at school, and looking at different recruitment techniques. Does anyone have any questions before we start talking more kind of about how to use these and other resources that the council is putting together? Once, twice, perfect. Ultimately, these are just thought patterns to engage newer and less experienced adults to spread the load of a unit to make it easier and easier to recruit membership. We have also created on our unit growth page some recruitment ideas. If you click that link, it will bring you here. And we've been working on different strategies of how you can recruit. We've been calling them dynamic and static methods of recruitment. So, for example, a static way to recruit is if I was just to wear a join scouting or wear my pack or units t-shirt. If I was to wear that, go to school, or if all the kids were to wear that and go to school, people are going to ask questions. It's a potential way to recruit new youth. Where a more dynamic way might be going to a parade and encouraging youth to join through that method. We have everything from school-based recruitment, community events and local visibility, unit program-based recruitments. We have family and peer-to-peer recruitments, digital and social media recruitments, signs, flyers, physical promotions, faith and civic partnerships. The list goes on. And at any of these, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can always reach out to myself, to Jessica, to your unit commissioner or district commissioner. Our job is to help you grow. Ultimately, a healthy unit relies on having many hands to do light work. And the more youth that we can impact, the greater our movement's going to be. Along on this sheet, if you scroll further down, you can have an Olympic meeting request. So as you go through this, you can eventually get some incentives. For our first incentives, we are going to be doing this in tiers. We are going to be creating a custom recruitment tote with all the resources that you would need that is going to belong to your unit. It doesn't belong to the council. It belongs to you and your community. In order to apply for that, you go to your district. We are the Olympic district. At that point, you are setting up a meeting with myself or with Jessica, and you would simply fill this out. We're just going to talk about the plan that you have, what strategies you have. And oftentimes in these meetings, I've been finding I'm learning more than I'm giving. Most of y'all know your communities better than I do or other people do. And we love to hear new and creative ways of how we can engage young people and how we can help change lives. Already opened that. That was a very quick explanation. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Darren, am I missing anything?
No, that was good. Well, the main thing is that we try to make it as easy as possible. We want to help you. If you need help, you just reach out to us. We'll probably be reaching out to you all as well. So, but again, many hands make light work, and that's what we're trying to do.
Exactly. Just a few points I want to emphasize. The key things to look at are how many youth are crossing over? How many youth are we going to be looking at getting into our unit, into our pack? How can we set goals to recruit? With youth come adults, that spreads the load. I'm sure, like all of us, I don't like being voluntold. I feel like no one here likes being voluntold to do things. So it certainly can help. And we find that it's really helpful to put someone in charge, having one person in charge of this sheet and saying, hey, will you do this? Will you do that? You don't need to fill everything out, even if it's a quarter or a half of the way done. Just getting in the practice of having a plan, having a written plan, and working together towards a joint goal as a unit. It's something that Scouting believes in, and it's something that we as a council want to help you achieve. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out now. Feel free to contact me via my email. I'm going to put in the chat as well at tyler.fine@scouting.org. Feel free to also pull me aside after this meeting or to send me a private DM in this chat. With no other questions, I'm going to hand the meeting over to John.
Well, Tyler, I'm sorry. I'd like to add one thing is that if you have ideas that we're not thinking about, please share them with Tyler.
Mhm.
Perfect. Thank you, Darren. Yeah, we
So,
love your ideas.
oh, Tyler, one thing I did want to kind of ask you about, kind of help
Yeah.
along these lines. So, in the past, the districts and the council and things would go, and they would be kind of the lead on recruitment. But now we are asking the units to be active participants in that recruitment effort. Why are we doing that?
Why are we asking units to? I'm sorry, I'm trying to stop sharing my screen. I shouldn't be doing multiple things at once.
No, it's okay.
Why are we asking units to recruit within their own area and territory?
Yes. Like why have we shifted in this direction?
Yeah, I think that's a phenomenal question. One thing that we've noticed is there's less large units and more smaller units, especially serving their community. And with those units serving their community more and more, we find it's impactful that people in those community who know different resources, different people, are able to maintain their unit health. with so many units going on at once, it's not necessarily realistic or ideal to have a employee take care of it. And that was never really, and Darren, correct me if I'm wrong, that was never really the intended model of scouting. Although at times it could feel like that.
Right.
Overall, the intended model of scouting is a unit is there to serve the community and to give back. That's why Eagle Scout projects can't happen at camp. They're there to serve the local community. And so recruiting local youth, working with local resources and entities and people who have a local grasp on what's going on so that we can engage young people in civic matters is the ultimate goal. And especially having people who are more regionalized and localized, who know what's going on, who know their youth, who know their community and the tones and shift of it. That's what really makes a unit high functioning, impactful, and that's what makes leaders. Does
If
that
I
answer?
can just add one thing to Tyler's, I would think about this from a new parent perspective, and you show up at a table, and Tyler's there, and you ask, "Well, what night's the meetings? What do they do in the meetings? Where are the kids from? What schools do they go to?" Tyler, as an employee, or as the DE that's covering all these units, is not going to know those specifics. They want to meet the parents that they're going to be working with, so that's why it's very imperative for the units to have the buy-in right at the beginning and to be able to make those communication or those connections with those new parents. Secondly, scouting used to really push they used to call them boy talks. They're called scout talks now. Going into schools, doing a big presentation. Normally, and they still do that in some of the bigger cities that have smaller districts. But if I were to go into any school and say, "Hey, come join scouting, pass out a bunch of flyers, get 20 kids interested," if I don't have a unit to push them to, it does us absolutely no good. Now I just got a lot of kids excited about something we can't deliver. And we want to make sure that the unit that it's going to impact is ready to accept new parents too. And we don't want to do that for them. We want them to be involved in that process. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you for asking. Any other
Oops.
questions, comments, concerns, compliments? Well, thank you for your time, everybody.
Okay. So to kind of enhance this conversation a little bit, I did want to share my screen again real quick because I wanted to we've talked about like checking your pen and looking at your leads, things like that. But those might be somewhat abstract conversations, some abstract topics if you're not familiar with what the tools look like. So I was just gonna highlight and show you guys an example of what this could look like for you if you're checking your leads and things. I'm gonna share my screen again. Make sure we share the right tab and like this. Okay, you guys should see my screen. So this is my dot scouting. So hopefully, this is something that you guys are all somewhat familiar with. It is similar to Scoutbook, but it is a different scouting tool. So it will be look a little bit different, but you use the same login to get here. You just go to my.scouting.org. So you go in here. Hopefully, you guys all have your profile picture. You will notice when you log in now, the website will tell you you need to get a picture as an adult. So that way we can kind of identify who you are. So you log in and then you go into here where it says menu, scroll down where it says organization. In my case, it'll have multiple organizations because I have a lot of roles that I'm registered for. So I'm going to pick one of my unit registration. And this is something that you, as a key three or certain key positions within a unit will see. You'll see things like organization manager, invitation manager, and application manager. So if you wanted to manage your PIN, you would go to organization manager. And then you'll see this window here, shows some people, shows me as the committee chair. And you scroll down here on the left-hand side and click on where it says unit PIN. So when a family goes to beascout.org and they type in their zip code, this is the information that will pop up when they see your unit. So that's why this information and updating this information is very important. So you'll see here, we will appear on beascout.org. We will allow people to apply online. If you are not accepting online applications, this is how you would enable that. And I encourage everyone to accept the online applications because it's a more efficient way of doing the applications instead of the paper ones, because the paper ones, take time to process. And with the online applications, we can process them at a faster rate and get people into the program and get them up and running as soon as possible in a little more timely fashion. So and then you'll see here, it's got this will point to my PAC's Facebook page in this case, and then this is the information that I have included about our meeting location. And it looks like that. Hey, look at that! My information is not up to date because we don't meet at Camp Thunderbird anymore. How's about that? So let's update that. We meet at the. So we'll update it. I'll show you guys what it looks like to update your PIN information. Oh goodness, you guys also get to watch me type in real time. How fun is that? There we go. So you'll see there, I've put in my meeting location, what day of the week we meet, and what time we meet. Those are really important pieces of information to include. Another thing that we encourage you guys to include in there is any dues that your unit charges outside of what National and Council charges. So if you guys, as a unit, charge your individual members a dues to help accomplish your program, we encourage you to put that in your PIN information as well. And before we're done, I need to make sure I click this button here that says save. And then now my PIN will be updated. And you'll see this is an example of what the PIN will look like. It's going to show a little dot. That's also, I need to update that. But I'll update that later because I don't remember the address. So that is how you update your PIN. So that is an important thing to note. The other thing, talking about those invitations and applications. So the invitation manager, I'll click on that. So this is where like you can, there's a couple of things you can do here. First, this is where you can send out applications to new potential members. So if you have someone who says, hey, I'd love to learn more about scouting. I'd love to join. I'm really thrilled about the program and I want to join. You can use this QR code and you can scan it and it will go directly to your application for your unit. You can also copy over here where it shows the invitation link. You can hit copy this, and I'll show you guys what it looks like in a new tab over here. When you go to that link, it will give you the opportunity to fill out either a youth or an adult application. In my case, because we allow applications for both youth and adults for online applications. So that's what the invitation manager does. You can send out invites from there, and then you can also send out, and then you can review the applications here. So when you get new applications, they will come in here. You can see when someone has applied but they haven't finished. If they are pending acceptance, and this will kind of show you where they're at in the process, depending on where they're at. And for my unit, we decided as a unit that we wanted to allow automatic acceptance of any youth applications that we get. So that way, I don't have to click a button. If someone decides to fill out the online application for our unit as a youth member, they are, boom, automatically in. Now, with the adults, we still do have to approve those, and those need to be approved by the COR or a COR delegate. I know I kind of breezed through all of that information somewhat quickly. Are there any questions out there for what we've talked about here? Does this all kind of make sense with checking the PIN, checking your invitations, and checking checking your applications?
John, who has access from the units?
So that's a great question, Darren. Thank you. So the unit key three, so your COR, charter organization rep, your committee chair, and your unit leader, be it a scoutmaster, cub master, advisor, or skipper. They will all have access. If you have certain leadership positions, if you have folks in certain leadership positions like membership, I think it's registration inquiry possibly, or if you have folks in your unit that are key three delegate. They might be serving in a different role, but are a backup to your unit key three. Say, for example, you have someone on your committee who's a little more tech savvy than your scoutmaster or your committee chair. You could give them access to be able to review this information so they can check it on a more regular basis. What other questions do we have out there? Yes, Ada.
So it's not a question, it's just a comment, but I just wanted to let the group know, like, when you get these like invitations and such, like it's really important to follow up with them as soon as possible, if whenever possible, because a lot of times if it doesn't get followed up on and the parent doesn't hear a response back or something like that as soon as possible, then they kind of lose interest. So it's important that whoever is delegated to in the unit, whoever is delegated to follow up on these, does that on a regular basis. Um, yeah, I just wanted to
Absolutely.
point. Yeah.
Absolutely. That is a great comment, Ada. Yeah, those um,
I
leads,
think
excuse me.
National has statistics that say if we don't follow up within, I think it's 3 days to, within 3 days is preferred, but if we don't follow up in the first week, I think it's like 70 something percent of the units or parents will not join because it just took too long to get them. So that's very important. Good point, Ada.
Yes, yes. And that's also, yeah, when someone goes to beascout.org, they will also have the option to ask for more information. And that's how those leads are generated in most cases. When you guys are doing your join nights or your recruitment events, you can also generate leads yourself when you're out at these events, if you collect some information about the youth and then you can use that information to send them an application if they would like to join. But most leads are generated by folks sitting in like the ask you for more information a link on bscout.org. And it's really important too when you're updating your pins, like I said, to make sure you have accurate and up to date information so that folks know when you're meeting. Because sometimes people might just be like, oh, well, maybe I'll just stop by one of their meetings. And they might just show up at one of your meetings all of a sudden. So if you guys if they show up and nobody's there because you change your meeting night or something like that to a different day of the week or something, uh, that could be somewhat of a negative perception coming from those families, and they might just be like, "Well, these guys are unreliable. I don't know if I want to put my kid in the program." So, um, yeah. What other questions do you guys have about membership? Okay. What are some things that you guys have done in the past that have been successful at helping to recruit new members?
So one thing that our unit did, every first weekend of December, Yelm has a Prairie Days parade or a Christmas in the Park parade. So this year we partnered with some of the other local units. I think PAC 164. We did the parade together, but our unit also handed out um, flyers with the QR code on it so that they can scan directly in a similar fashion to the application, um, as we were walking with our scouts in the parade while they're holding uh, the various unit banners. And we got some good feedback from that. We got a couple of new scouts out of that. So that was really encouraging.
That's great.
We were a part of the Yelm Parade as well. We were Rainier, but we have the Rainier Roundup days that we do something similar as well. We do I think last year we did like a lollipop with the QR code and information about Rainier Scouts. We also had 2 recruitment days where one of them was a Pokemon scavenger hunt, which I think, Tyler, you were there for.
It was really fun.
Yeah. And I forgot the other one, but we also tried to make our bike rodeo public as well and do that at the start of school so the public can come out and just do the bike rodeo with us. And we also have information for them to join. Um, we also created a welcome packet that has a QR code for Be a Scout, um, the Facebook page, and there was something else. But we are kind of going to start twerking that a little bit. And if you're getting a welcome packet, you don't need the Be a Scout because you've already joined. So I was just brainstorming right now about creating a membership how-to packet with information and the QR code for beascout.org. So that way they have the how to join information and then the information for once you do join. So that was just a little ideas that we've done.
John, can I mention something really quick?
Oh, please, absolutely.
So if you don't already know, we have tons of resources and every bit of it's free with the exception of help with Peach Jar. We'll help pay for half typically. If you have a huge community event that you're going to set up a booth and are charging $100, let us know. We'll help cover that cost, if not all of it. But a lot of resources. It doesn't matter where you're at, whether you're down in Rainier, over in Grace Harbor, over in Hoquiam, wherever you're at, we can get materials to you, whether we throw them in the mail or we get them to Camp Thunderbird. But all we ask is for a little bit of lead time. If you need help with any of your social media, our Tricia in our office is really good at that. We can put you in contact with her and she can give you guidance and help there. Plus, she can help geofence any of your activities. So please let us help. We want to help you. So please ask, if you need something.
Great. That's really good. Thank you, Darren. One thing I know that I've done in the past that I've always thought is kind of fun because, well, I love Pinewood Derby. For those of you that know that I love Pinewood Derby. And I've been part of PAX in the past where we have done a big community event for our Pinewood Derby where we invite businesses to come in, have tables to highlight their businesses. They can sponsor a car and we'll do like an open class race for their cars, and then we will invite community members to spend, say, $20. We'll give them a car. It's also a little bit of a fundraiser, but it also puts the pack out to the community, and we would advertise far and wide on Facebook and on not billboards, like bulletin boards and local businesses and stuff. And we would get like a good amount of people. We'd probably get like 50 or 60 people from the community coming to these events that aren't even affiliated with scouting, and that uh, really helped boost us as a pack. Even if we only got a couple of members out of it, it was a really good positive experience, and everybody had a good time. So it's I recommend things like that too, because scouting should be fun at all levels. Scouting should be fun, whether it's for the adults, for the kids, whether you're in a pack, whether you're in a troop, whether you're in a crew or a ship or an explorer post. Um, the kids and the youth, I should say, are going to come back if you are having fun, and the parents are going to encourage their youth to come back if they see their youth having fun, and or if the adults themselves are having fun. You know, um, I don't have any kids in the program. I'm here for the love of the game because I want to support scouting because it means a lot to me. So I think it's really important for us to make scouting fun. So, um, so with that, does anybody have anything else they'd like us to talk about before we wrap up for the evening? All right. And for those of you, sorry, go ahead, Ada.
Hi, is so my name is Ada Hurtado and I am the Olympic District Membership Chair. And I just wanted to just do a brief, like there's a couple of opportunities available for anyone who would like to do some recruitment at some upcoming events. The first one is if you're in Thurston County, they have the Lacey Cultural Celebration going on March 7th from 10 to 6. and the district has a recruitment booth there available. We'll have the Pinewood Derby track over there, and we'll have a recruitment booth set up. So if you're interested in doing that, I have a sign up that I can post in the chat if you're interested in doing that for your unit. And then the other thing is in Grays Harbor, we're having a recruitment event there as well. So if you're local to the Grays Harbor area, there is going to be a recruitment event on March 27th, or excuse me, 28th. And it's that Saturday. It's from 11 to 2 at Lincoln Elementary School. So if you are wanting to recruit for your unit and you're in Grays Harbor, you can contact me with more information. I'll put my email address in the chat. And then the last thing is, if you are interested in helping out with membership at the district level, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my phone number in the chat room as well, because we're always looking for volunteers who would like to help grow our wonderful district. So that's all I had to say. So.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you, Ada. And for those of you that are watching this recording after the fact, either on YouTube or on the Olympic District Facebook page, all of the links that we have referenced in this meeting will be available in the comments below. Like and subscribe, as the kids say. With that, unless anybody has anything else for the good of the group, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up just right about on time, unless Mr. Fine would like to have some closing thoughts.
Well, I was just going to say, everyone, thank you for what you do. Obviously, it's people like you who really make the lives and memories of young people. I'm sure that you remember a person when you were a youth that really inspired you or moved you. Beyond that, I'm going to be staying on after this meeting if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Otherwise, feel free to reach out to me at tyler.fine@scouting.org. If there's anything that I can do to help support your unit, support you, or to support a scout, do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you again, everyone, from the bottom of my heart. Let's change lives.
I have one challenge. Next roundtable, bring a friend.
Yeah, bring a friend. I also would like to put it out there. If you guys have any questions, if you feel like you need or would like to have some commissioner support come and visit your unit, I would encourage you to email me at the Olympic my email is olympicdistrictcommissioner@pacificharbors.org. Right, Tyler? That sounds right, doesn't it?
I believe so.
I apologize. I haven't used that email very much, but I would encourage you guys, if you have any needs or if you feel like you need some support out there in the wide world of scouting, please contact that email. Even if it's not me looking at the emails, somebody will get back to you and somebody will read that email. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for everything you do. For scouting, thank you for everything you do for your communities, and we will see you all next month at our next roundtable, or sooner if you guys all come to the Olympic District Awards dinner. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.